Warning, this content is for entertainment and educational purposes only. All right, next question here is from James G. James asks, what should change during a cruise phase? Backing off gear for 8 to 12 weeks obviously impacts recovery, diet, training, volume, and cardio. How do you typically approach it? I don't change a thing when it comes to training when I back off gear. I think that's a mistake that a lot of guys make is when they come down to TRT, they think, well, I don't need to train as hard. And then they end up kind of backsliding on their progress. I keep the training intensity as is. I don't change a fucking thing when it comes to it. And a lot of times I find my performance continues to improve because the toxic load of the drugs has been reduced and you start to fucking feel better and you have an increase in performance in the gym. At a bare minimum, at least to maintain, but I think it's a mistake to back off. Now, I do back off food a little bit because nutrient partitioning is affected by high doses of gear. If we're running high doses of GH and androgens, that's going to increase glycogen synthesis and how your body is metabolizing fat and all those other things. So there's no reason to run super high food, have your caloric intake all cranked up when you're on cruise. I usually try to go down to a maintenance phase. For me, in carb cycling, I just pull down to one high day per week, keep the diet at maintenance level. And also gives you GI a break from pushing all that food that we're doing when we're in a mass phase. So I do yank that back a bit. But as far as training goes, I don't fucking change a thing. As far as cardio does, if anything, I would increase it during it just to improve cardiovascular health and maybe get some cheap fat loss, recomposition a little bit while you're on your cruise phase. But really, just don't change a thing with your training unless you're beat up and you need a break. If your joints are all beat up, then that's a different reason to pull back. But I don't change a thing when it comes to training. I keep training hard. And a lot of times I find that I can still eke out some progress even on TRT doses. I've essentially just been on TRT or TRT plus now for quite some time, and I'm making progress in the gym again. So you don't need massive doses. Now, I'm not saying they don't work as well as higher doses, but don't let that be a predetermining factor. Shit, remember your first cycle was probably what you consider a health phase now, and you were making progress and excited about that then. So don't feel like you are locked into pulling back at your training and all that jazz. Just keep training hard unless you have some sort of joint or connective tissue injury that you need to let heal up.